Hey guys, Stylosa here, and we have got some Torbjorn Rework details. This is an exclusive interview that VG247 conducted with Jeff Goodman, and he actually gives us some information here on the Torbjorn Rework, which of course is the next upcoming rework to hit Overwatch. It's going to be beautiful. Symmetra's just been finished, and now they're moving on to Torbjorn. But the last thing we knew about this is they didn't actually have all of the details in place. Like, there was a lot of options going around. Even Jeff Kaplan said, we don't really have anything firm. However, we've got more details here from Jeff Goodman, who is, of course, the principal hero designer. This is the guy that designs the heroes that we play, or their toolkit. Not the way they look, like that's other people, but just the toolkit and what they do. So this is what happened. He said this: I originally was sort of thinking, let's not do anything too massive. All right, okay, let's not do anything too massive. Let's just make minor changes to Torbjorn. That's fair enough, that's fair enough. And then he goes on to say this: with Torbjorn, the issues we're trying to solve are that he's a little overly defensive focused. We need him to be more viable on offense in a non-payload situation. Turret on the payload, anyone? Turret on the payload. Legit strap, by the way. No, it's not. Well, actually, it might be. Sometimes it works, whatever. If it doesn't mean he needs to be, it doesn't mean he needs to be equal on offense, but we need him to at least not be a troll pick. There you go. They don't want Torb to be a troll pick. Torb is a troll pick, right? Confirmed by Blizzard. Symmetra was a troll pick. Don't think that was confirmed by Blizzard, but I'm just going to say it was confirmed by Blizzard. So they remake the hero. Torb is a bit of a troll pick, let's be real, right? Torb has got some use on some defensive positions. You could use him maybe on Hanamura defense, maybe on Numbani defense, but even then, it's kind of easy to work around Torb, and yeah, I mean, chucking a Torb turret on a payload isn't the best thing ever. Anyway, Jeff Goodman goes on and he says this: you don't get to use some of your abilities. Your turret's not as strong. It's like as if much of a threat without your ultimate ready to go. You're not much of a threat, sorry, without your ult. It feels like the feature Famine with him a lot of time, and that's something we're trying to solve. So the idea of feature Famine is you're not actually using your abilities, so you can see it, but you can't use it, because what's the point, right? So that's not a very good hero flow. And remember, Torb is a very old hero, really, in terms of Overwatch. And then Jeff Goodman goes on: it's cool when characters have their ultimates and there's a power spike. Being able to use your ultimate at the right time is a big part of the game, but it's a little too much for him. It does everything, basically. Currently, in our internal build, he just tosses it out, not super far. It's like a tracer pulse bomb distance. So this is his turret, right? This is an answer to the question where he's asked about, hey, so what about the turret, right? In fact, they say this: at the moment, the team is still experimenting with lots of things, but right now, it's likely to stick a complete overhaul to how Torbjorn's turrets work. Right now, if you press the ability and a holographic version of your turret floats in front of you, you have to place it down and hammer away. However, Jeff says in response to this, currently in our internal build, he just tosses it out. It's not super far, almost like a tracer pulse bomb. So you can kind of throw it like that and it deploys itself automatically on level 2. So there you go. Automatic turrets confirmed. You chuck it down, it deploys. No boring gameplay standing there hammering away like a goddamn idiot. This is good. It takes a little time to do that, but you don't have to hammer it or anything. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. He then goes on to say, this plays a lot better on offense, especially because you can run up, throw it in a flank spot, and be immediately shooting again and feel like you don't have to sit there hammering it. Being able to use that and have an extra threat shooting from the side feels really powerful. But we can obviously tune the turret if it ends up being too strong or anything. But that's the place we're starting from. Oh, I like this. I really like this. So then they ask him about Molten Core. Like, what's going on with Molten Core? What's the deal? Jeff says this: we may end up with a completely different ultimate at this point because it ties up too much of his power. But that is still very much in flux, so it's hard to say. The first thing we did was try a lot of different takes on Molten Core. Maybe we could make it really cheap and take some stuff away from it. We tried it so it only affects the turret and doesn't give you any buffs. We tried the reverse so it only affects you. We definitely tweaked some of the base ability so you could reload faster, and that was as frustrating as before. You would run out of ammo in the middle of ulting, so you can't shoot anyone. As of now, I think we've decided to move away from Molten Core entirely. Wow. All right. These are the most solid details we've got on the Torbjorn rework. So what we take away from this interview is, firstly, Molten Core is going. The turret is now throwable like Tracer's Pulse Bomb, and it instantly deploys at level 2. That is huge, because this means, like they said in the interview, you can throw your turret. I see, like, think of Torb. He was defensive based. You build your turret, you bang on it. It's kind of boring. You hope they come in, they don't destroy your turret. Because if they destroy it, you're basically screwed. The first thing you're looking to do is throw your turret down again and then rebuild it. It's not ideal. But if you can just instantly chuck turrets down and go like, oh, there's my turret, level 2. It gets destroyed, whatever. It doesn't matter because here's another one. And then I'm off shooting again. That's a much better gameplay flow. So I actually think that's a great change. Huge, I think. Honestly, really, really huge. Kind of minor in the way they're not radically changing his abilities. He's still got the turret. But yeah, that's really, really huge. So let's talk about Molten Core. This is another ability which I think is a bit crap. I agree with what Jeff says here. It is a boring ultimate to use. When Torb Molten Cores, it's like, okay, turret goes to level 3. Torb just sort of becomes a beast and then just starts firing faster. And yeah, great. It is boring, right? So now they're moving away from that. What the hell do you do with Torbjorn? Do you do something where he gets it? What I'd like to see is a different type of turret, like a mega turret, like some sort of super turret, maybe like a crazy artillery turret. That would be ridiculous. Imagine throwing down like an artillery turret and then you could take control of it and then you get like 2 shots or 3 shots that rain down from the sky, you know, kind of like Doomfist. Because they've built this tech into the game. You know, when Doomfist uses his Meteor Strike Ultimate and you press right mouse button or whatever you press on the consoles and it gives you that alternate view, the sort of top-down view. Why not do that, but with an artillery turret and let it blast away? That'd be so goddamn cool. Well, what about this? What about Claymore Mines? I think this is a great idea as well. Torbjorn can sort of deploy mines or tripwires or something, which is going to mess up the enemy. Because remember, Torb is an engineer. He builds stuff. But I think it still would be pretty cool if we've seen a form of super artillery turret. But guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Where do you think they're going to take Torbjorn? What do you think they could do to his ultimate? And do you like these changes that are proposed to his turret? All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Remember, you can subscribe to the channel and click that bell because then you'll get updated to all of my videos when they go live. And I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.